From the start, Australia has committed 1.7 billion Australian dollars, or about 1.1 billion USD, to build a fleet of autonomous underwater drones called Ghost Shark as part of an effort to strengthen its naval power, especially in the undersea environment amid strategic tensions in the Indo-Pacific region. The fleet is designed to conduct reconnaissance, intelligence, surveillance, and strike missions when needed, with long ranges and the ability to operate underwater without revealing itself frequently. Australia wants to not only maintain its wide maritime perimeter, but also maintain its technological edge so that when its opponents see it, it's too late. Today, the History and War channel will analyze in depth the causes, developments, results, overall significance of the Ghost Shark project, along with an illustration of a defense map so that your videos are not only good communicators, but also visually and content-driven. 1. In-depth analysis, causes and strategic context. 1.1. Geostrategic issues, Australia's strategic environment. Australia is a country with a very long coastline. According to sources, the northern seas of Australia are an ocean area of about 3 million square kilometers that need to be protected. But the population is mainly concentrated in the east and south, and most residents do not live near areas that are vulnerable to threats from the sea. Meanwhile, China and many other countries in the Indo-Pacific region are strengthening their naval capabilities, submarines, sea-based UAVs, sea control capabilities, exercises, island building, and garrisons. Australia cannot stand still without responding. Having autonomous underwater vehicles will help Australia guard the vast ocean perimeter without the huge human resources or costs of manned ships operating continuously. 1.2. Technological developments and the need for automation in defense. Autonomous underwater vehicles and underwater drone systems are becoming a global trend. Systems like Ghost Shark enable surveillance, intelligence, reconnaissance, and strike capabilities, all in environments where manned vessels may be detected, attacked, or have high operating costs. The Ghost Shark project is being developed by Anduril Australia in partnership with the Australian Defence Force and the Defence Science and Technology Group. They have been in development since 2022, with prototypes being put in place to test their capabilities. 1.3. Finance and Foreign Policy, Defense. The $1.7 billion contract is to build, maintain, and develop the Ghost Sharks over 5 years. Production will be done locally, Australia, to ensure technological sovereignty, reducing external dependence. Australia remains committed to the AUKUS program, a partnership with the United States and the United Kingdom to develop nuclear-powered submarines over the next decade. The Ghost Sharks are not a replacement for submarines, but a lower-end, more flexible, cheaper, and faster-to-deploy capability. 2. Real-life developments and defense map illustrations. To make your video eye-catching, the defense map is very important after the analysis. Here are the points you should draw up the map illustration, with detailed examples. 1.1. Overall map of the strategic area. Draw a map of the Indo-Pacific region with Australia at the center, the Timor Sea, Arafura Sea, South China Sea to the north, the Pacific Ocean to the east, the Indian Ocean to the west. Specify important shipping routes, the Malacca, Sunda, Lombok, Torres Strait sea routes, the sea area north of Australia where the exclusive economic zone EEZ is located. Draw strategic competitors, China, Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea, East Timor Island, Chinese naval bases, Chinese naval vessels operating near Australia. 1.2. Detailed map of the Ghost Shark system in the Australian region. Indicate the place of manufacture, the state of New South Wales, Australia, where the Anduril Australia factory manufactures and maintains the Ghost Shark. Draw the Royal Australian Navy base where the Ghost Shark is displayed, such as HMAS Catable in Sydney. Draw the expected deployment areas, from the shore, that is the coast, and from surface ships to the open sea, the vast northern waters of Australia. The Ghost Shark can launch from the coast or from surface ships to the deep sea. 1.3. Specific illustrations by mission. Specific examples to clarify what type of mission the Ghost Shark will perform. Reconnaissance mission in coastal waters. Suppose there is a medium surface ship or an important port of the enemy operating near the northern sea border. The Ghost Shark is launched from shore, dives deep, approaches the ship's operating area, collects sonar signals, ultrasound images, records data, then retreats to port. Surveillance mission long-term strategic waters. Vast waters hundreds of kilometers from shore, Ghost Shark operates for many days without surfacing, avoiding radar or detection, monitoring transport and suspicious ship activities, reporting to the command center. Attack mission or combat option. Can lay underwater mines, attack surface ships or underwater vehicles if equipped, or coordinate with manned submarines in an open war scenario. 1.4. Humorous illustrations to make the video vivid. Draw a robot shark wearing sunglasses diving into the ocean, quietly listening to the sonar of enemy ships, then blinking, creating a light comedy when saying, "Ghost shark, not only quiet, but also knows how to wait for the right moment to strangle uninvited guests." Draw an operational map. Ghost Shark from Sydney base to northern waters detects strange ship activities, transmit signals, draw radar icons, antennas, surface ships. 3. Potential outcomes, advantages, challenges, and multifaceted impacts. 3.1. Strategic advantages. Lower cost than manned and nuclear submarines, Ghost Sharks are autonomous, crewless, reducing personnel risks, maintenance, and operating costs. Deployment is faster than implementing the entire nuclear submarine program. Long-term endurance, silent battlefield, diving for long periods, avoiding radar or sonar detection, performing dangerous missions that would be easily lost by manned vessels, such as approaching shore, patrolling deep-sea areas, laying mines, or conducting secret reconnaissance. Enhancing the ability to defend the open sea. Australia has a long coastline, large sea areas. Ghost Shark helps expand the scope of surveillance, reconnaissance, and attack, making the opponent wary, not only looking from the sea, but also under the sea. Flexibility and rapid response. If an unexpected event occurs, Ghost Shark can be launched from shore or from a surface ship, quickly present to monitor or respond without waiting for a nuclear submarine or manned ship class to arrive. 1.5. Technology export platform. Domestic production, development of automation technology, AI, and control software such as Endural's Lattice can become export goods, increasing Australia's industrial defense capacity. 3.2. Challenges and risks. Coverage and detection issues. Although more stealthy than surface ships, underwater drones still face sonar, acoustics, underwater detectors. If the enemy's technology is high, Ghost Shark can still be detected. Maintenance, repair, and technology reliability issues, automatic components, batteries, long-term deep diving capabilities, technical aspects are always big challenges. In the event of an incident at sea, rescue is more difficult than with a manned vessel. Management, safety, and responsibility procedures. When performing an attack mission, it can cause international controversy if the drone impacts a military or civilian vessel. The distinction between the target will be an ethical and legal issue. 4.3. Software development costs, artificial intelligence, AI, and anti-intrusion, anti-hacking. Any vulnerabilities in the control software can be exploited, especially by highly capable adversaries.
3.3. International influence and regional strategy. For China and regional countries, Australia is sending a clear message that it is strengthening its underwater capabilities, being more proactive in protecting its waters, monitoring the behavior of offshore vessels, and being able to respond to attacks if necessary. Within the framework of AUKUS, Ghost Shark will add to the overall strength before the nuclear submarine appears. Australia could maintain a strategic hedge with autonomous means until larger classes of ships enter service. Impact on industrial defense. This project encourages the development of Australia's domestic defense industry, manufacturing, maintenance, software, artificial intelligence, underwater sensors. This could also lead to international cooperation and exports. Impact on regional security strategy. Pacific Island nations, countries with large ocean edges, may see Ghost Shark as a model for them to enhance their maritime surveillance capabilities without the huge cost of manned ships. There could be a spillover effect. 4. Potential outcomes when Ghost Sharks go into service. Expect a fierce underwater technology battle to be born. Ghost Shark, when it goes into service from early 2026, will be field-tested, able to detect ships, small submarines, collect sonar data. The combination of surface ships and manned submarines will form a multi-layered defense system. Ghost Shark can be used in the mission of preventing smuggling, illegal immigration by sea, underwater espionage, patrolling offshore areas that are difficult to cover by conventional ships, opportunity to export technology or sell autonomous underwater drones to allies if Australia successfully develops. Conclusion. Summary of key content and call to action. Overview. Australia has signed a contract worth 1.7 billion Australian dollars, approximately 1.1 billion US dollars, with Anduril Australia to produce a fleet of Ghost Shark, autonomous underwater drones, large autonomous undersea vehicles, XLAUVs, for intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and strike missions with long-range and high stealth capabilities. Domestic production with plans to deploy from early 2026 in line with the broader defense strategy, including the nuclear submarine program under AUKUS in the next decade. Ghost Shark does not replace but adds capabilities. Advantages include lower operating costs than manned vessels, the ability to operate secretly, high flexibility, rapid deployment, enhancing the defense of the vast seas that Australia must protect. Challenges include detection, maintenance, liability, AI safety, and real-world reliability. Strategic impact. Sending clear signals in the context of strategic competition with China, strengthening regional defense posture, promoting domestic defense industry, export potential, and increasing maritime strategic influence. The end. A call to action. If you've read this far and are still curious, or feel like you're a bit of a military tech geek, hit the like button to fuel a tech strategy project like Ghost Shark, because every like is a guarantee that viewers care about the future of security, not just bombs and bullets. Share this video with your friends and acquaintances, especially if you think war is all about tanks, planes, and artillery shells, so they understand the future of war will involve sea robots, underwater drones, AI, and if you start preparing early, you can keep the advantage. And don't forget to subscribe to the History and War channel, because each video is not just news, but a map of the future drawn with guns, technology, and policy, where you'll be guided into strategic zones, understand the advantages and risks, and become an informed follower, not just a viewer caught up in the news.